A wildlife sanctuary is an area of nature owned by the government or a private agency for the protection of particular species of flora or fauna during a part of the year or in its entirety. The wildlife sanctuaries are areas reserved for the wild habitat, including animal, reptiles, birds, insects, etc. Those are the unique places where the animal in danger of extinction are preserved and saved. Some of the rarely found species on Earth also have a safe home in the wildlife sanctuary to make their population viable for the future. Under the threat of deforestation and urbanization, many wildlife creatures need permanent protection and a favorable atmosphere to live in. Wildlife positively fulfill this condition. Especially in India, there are over 567 wildlife sanctuaries preserving in a huge ratio of rare species which are under the range of extinction. A biosphere reserve is a term given to an area for the conservation of the resources of the biosphere and the improvement of the relationship between man and the environment. Biosphere reserves are large areas that include national parks and wildlife sanctuaries. Those build a high ratio of natural habitat with constitutional protection under particular protection policies and arrangement. There are around 18 biosphere reserves in India with high-end arrangements to manage the balance between human and nature. A national park is a reserved area of land owned by the government which is protected from industrialization, human exploitation, and pollution. National parks are very large areas which protect not only wildlife but they protect entire ecosystem. While biosphere reserves are large areas to protect biodiversity, national parks are the region that protect the complete ecosystem, including species, flora, fauna, landscape, etc. of that particular region. National parks protect wildlife and maintain the diversity of the environment and landscape for the future generation. There are approximately 106 national parks in India, maintaining this balance each day for propagating this conservation for the future. Reserve forests are the most restricted forests and it has a certain degree of protection. They are protected by the respective state government. They can declare any forest land or wasteland as a reserve which is the property of the respective government. In reserve forests, local people are generally prohibited. Rights to activities like collecting timber or grazing cattle or hunting and public entry are banned in those forests. It is considered the most valuable type of forest from the perspective of conservation. A protected forest is a land notified under the provisions of the Indian Forest Act or the State Forest Act. In protected forest, all activities are permitted unless they are expressly prohibited. A protected forest is a land that is a reserved forest and over which the government has property rights as declared by a state government under Section 29 of the Indian Forest Act 1927. This power has been used to establish state control over trees whose timber, fruit, or other non-wood products have revenue-raising potential. Those are looked after by the government, but certain activities like hunting, grazing, or timber collecting are allowed to people who live on the boundaries of forest and are partially or wholly dependent on the forest resources for livelihood.